yeah guys, I wanted to do this video to compare Pond5 and Audiojungle. And like I mentioned in my previous entry, the reason why Pond5 and Audiojungle is because I get my income from both of them, mainly Audiojungle, and I'm trying to move into Pond5 and try to replicate my success, the success I had in Audiojungle, and go a little bit more non-exclusive. So the first thing will be with the difference between Pond5 and Audiojungle will be that in Pond5 you can actually you can set the price of your item, and you're free to do that. In Audiojungle they price your songs or your music, and there's a standard pricing system for that. If the song is usually above 2 minutes, they sell it for 20 quid, or $20 I should say actually. And if it's under 2 minutes, the song will be around, I think it's $15 or $17. I think it's 15. And if it's less than that, it's usually 12. That's on Audiojungle. On Pond5, you are free to set up your price. You have to be reasonable as well within what you want to price, and that's the main difference, really. You know, I've seen some crazy prices on Pond5 for some items, some libraries. With Pond5, there's a library within Pond5 selling their own songs as well with different prices. Now the other thing as well with one of the other differences that I have found is on Pond5 you don't have a limit of uploads. On Audiojungle you can only upload at the moment, if you're not an elite author, you can only upload up to 5 songs at any given time, have 5 songs on the queue. I think when you become an elite author you can upload up to 10, but there is a limit of uploads. I guess that's because there's a lot of people joining in, there's a lot of people submitting music, and that could be a problem if you really want to produce a lot of songs and be very, very active. Another thing is that on Audiojungle they don't require an ID to open an account, so that creates a lot of problems. You have a lot of clone accounts, you have accounts that many people with different accounts. On Pond5 you need to provide a form of ID, license, a driver license or a passport. This is quite a standard procedure on many libraries. The other thing I see that is really different is that on Audiojungle they give me a receipt or a statement for every single sale. And it's a very detailed when it comes to their statements and their tax and everything. On Pond5 it's very direct. I mean that you just sell and you get your half of your earnings. You know, so if you sell your song for 20 quid, you get, or $20 I should say, you get half of that, and Pond5 gets half. But I thought you don't get a receipt. You don't know who the customer is. It's a little bit of a mystery. It could be a little bit more straightforward. Maybe you don't need to know about who's buying your songs. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. But on Audiojungle it's very, very detailed when it comes down to the statements, and yes, it helps, I guess. What other things? Well, when it comes to music that you supply, I have supplied music to both accounts. I have a non-exclusive account I'm talking about here, obviously. So I have a non-exclusive account on Audiojungle and non-exclusive account on Pond5, which Pond5 is non-exclusive anyways. On Audiojungle you have the option of exclusive or non-exclusive. So I have uploaded the same song to Audiojungle. Sometimes it gets rejected, and 100% of the time it gets approved on Pond5. Saying that's just because Audiojungle has a very specific sounds or music that they're going after, and they want to have in their library. So I don't take that personally. I completely understand. I think Pond5 is a little bit more open when it comes down to music. I mean, I have heard very famous, or I should say successful composers on Pond5, and I have heard their songs. And I said, wow, I mean, this song will never pass the review process in Audiojungle. That doesn't mean that they're bad composers. It's just that certain songs or certain music do not work for Audiojungle. And I don't know if that's true for Pond5. I think they're just a little bit more, I wouldn't say flexible, I just think that they're a little bit more open when it comes down to song. Audiojungle is a little bit more more they're going for a specific songs. I mean, when you're there, you submit enough songs, you will soon learn that. What I'm saying, I am sharing this because not because I support one more than the other. I just think that they both have good things and bad things, and there is no such a thing as the perfect library. You want to have one doing what they do, and you want to have the other one hopefully that they will do what the other one is doing, and maybe have them both blend in, but it's never like that. You know, one library has their strength, the other one doesn't. Another thing that Pond5 has as well is that they actually send me an email every time I have a sale. On Audiojungle they don't. Audiojungle has an actual sale counter in your profile, and you know, you just refresh the page, and that could be you could spend a lot of time refreshing that page to see the sale count going up, and get frustrated when you don't. Yeah, Audiojungle as well, you can customize your actual profile, and you can put images and stuff and different things. They give you different badges for accomplishment according to your sales or ranking and whatnot, and they do competitions, and you know, it's a big community on Audiojungle. So yeah, so the better you do, the more badges you have, or the more you participate, you get all these awards and little things, and next to your profile or to your name. Pond5 don't have that. I think they used to have it. I think Pond5 used to have at some point the sales thing, the portfolio with the sales. I think on your actual settings of the account, you can actually I have set it up, but it doesn't appear anymore. I think that could be a little bit, I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing to have the sales on display. I think that could be a little bit misleading for customers if they see that somebody's doing well or not. Then customers might decide to buy your song based on whatever sales you have. And I guess you're never satisfied, you know. When I had like 100 sales, I was like, oh my god, look at this other guy, you know, they have 500 sales, I wish I could have 500. When you get to 500, you wish you could have 1,000, so on and so forth. I don't think that reflects that reflects the success or how good the music it is, actually, I should say. But you know, it is what it is. Like I said, we're here to provide a service, and want to make sure that we are not biased when it comes down to providing our music. So yeah, man. I mean, it's my experience. You know, I will recommend to anybody that wants to join in and start licensing your music to try different libraries. You know, I started with Audiojungle first, and just that, and I focused just on my exclusive account, and that's where I learned, and that's how I started earning my income. My first song ever was with Audiojungle, and it's just an amazing feeling. And then I focused and tried to replicate that with my exclusive account. A little bit of a year later, I opened a non-exclusive account in Audiojungle, and then I went to Pond5 and slowly tried to spread. And if I could have done something differently from the beginning, would be to have gone upload music on everywhere, because there's so many libraries, you know. There's so many, you know, and you have to try them and see which ones work best for you, and not just depend on one source of income. That's my main thing. Even though I'm very successful, or at least my main account with Audiojungle, my exclusive account, still is the most successful account I have, there is no reason why my non-exclusive account on Audiojungle and on Pond5 could do the same or get me the same results. And funny enough, quite recently, a few days ago, a friend of mine from Ukraine contacted me and shared his thoughts on Pond5. He is an author as well on Audiojungle, and he contacted me and gave me some insights, because he told me, well, actually, I'm earning I'm earning a living by selling my music on Pond5. So it was very encouraging. I know that it is possible. Just because, you know, you sell somewhere, that doesn't mean that cannot happen on another site. it was very encouraging, the insights, and to see somebody doing so well, especially that another composer that is actually as well involved on Audiojungle, and now is involved more, or I guess he gets more money from Pond5. So it's very encouraging, you know, and I really appreciate his insight. It really gave me a lot of hope, because I'm trying to replicate what I've done with Audiojungle, not only on Pond5 but on other sites as well. And it's very nice to see other composers doing well, and you know, especially they have done something that I am aspiring to do. You know, it's always good to learn from somebody else. And yeah, I mean, he's been more active than me for many years. I think he's been active for like 10 years or 9 years. You know, I only started like 3 or 4 years ago. But it's very good to see somebody else with that experience, and to reach out and say to me like, listen, whatever you're doing with Audiojungle or whatever other sites, you know, I'm doing it with Pond5. So it gives you, I guess, evidence that it is possible to do it. And it's always good to learn and to share, and try it for yourself, you know. Sometimes we get caught up in our own brains and say, oh, I have this day job and I can never, how dare do I leave this job for another one, or how dare can I just dream bigger, you know. And I have been a victim of that, even on my music licensing. You have this fear sometimes, that thinking like, well, what if I move from this account and go to the other one, will everything collapse, you know? And I don't think that's the case. I think we have to acknowledge that we are creators of content, and the main thing is to spread our content as much as possible. And if we're gonna go exclusive or non-exclusive, that's really irrelevant, but you have to have a certain strategy, I will say, for you to spread your music, and to have some kind of just spread, just to be everywhere, really, you know. So yeah, man, you know, let me know what you think of this video, and if you have experience with either one, with either Pond5 or Audiojungle, and you know, just share it, and you know, just leave a comment so other people can learn from this as well, and myself included. I'm still learning. At the moment, like I said, I'm not endorsing either one or the other. I think they're both great. And just because I have success on one, that doesn't mean that the other one is bad or shit. I just want to replicate. And actually, the question is that why can those two accounts be doing very well? You know, why do we have to choose just one? I was a victim of that, you know, just choosing one and holding on so tight. There are people that do that. I think it could be a little bit not good for your business, though. I think it's good to spread and have some kind of presence in different libraries. So yeah, man, just leave your comments below. Share your story if you have any insights, or if you are in a different place than I am and have something else to share concerning these two important libraries, Pond5 and Audiojungle, and share your experience, or ask anything if I can help or answer anything. And yeah, man, subscribe to my channel and see if we can do more of this. I wouldn't say reviews, but just share my experience as we go along. All right, so let's keep shit real, man. Hope to see you on the other side of success. Okay, take care.